Hello and welcome, I am Gary and Reaver and this is Fate Hunters. This is a roguelike deck builder that I'm kind of fond of. I've sort of soured on it a bit recently because I've seen a bit about how the devs have sort of reacted about this game and about the successor, but it does still have a nice little gameplay loop to it. You choose one of the classes. There's the Inquisitor, who's about sort of reducing enemy attack. There's the Arcanist or Arcanist, who is about just rolling a dice and randomly getting good or bad effects. There is the Raider, who is rolling a dice and constantly getting bad effects. There is the Berserker, who gets Raid, which is really good. And there is the Spy, who is not really a strategy, just randomly gets cards from other characters. Call me biased, but I like the Berserker. The point of the game is you sort of collect treasure, which then adds to this number at the bottom, but only if you escape with it. And the thing that makes it different is that you have to keep it in your deck. So the treasure cards are cards that you add to your deck, and they can have good or bad effects. It's a bit like Hearthstone in that there is the attack on the left, which is the damage that they'll deal when they hit, and the health on the right, which is how much damage you need to deal before they die. So let's get rid of the Orc. Why did I draw another card? Oh, deal 3 damage, draw a random card with critical strike from the draw pile. I did not read that properly. Critical strike means there's a 25% chance to deal double damage, like that. You get loot for clearing a room most of the time, and when you level up, you get to pick a card. I think I'm going to go with Killing Blow, just because there are some non-boss creatures that are just horrible and really hard to kill, so that's quite useful. You also don't move on until you click, so like if I wanted to heal using these healer cards, you don't have to make sure you do it before you finish the combat. Downside is that there's no map, you don't really have any context of how long it is until the next boss, you just have to keep going through rooms until you get to the end. So the Berserker has these rage things, like here, you have to spend a certain amount of rage to get the secondary bonus effect. Let's just kill him off. Torch reduces enemy attack, but it's a one-use thing. The Paladin, or the Inquisitor I think is called in this, his sort of focus is around the... Oh, nice. His focus is around reducing enemy attack and allowing you to sort of get special bonuses because of that. Ooh, use the Healy. Some enemies have shields, which means the first time they take damage, it is ignored. But I actually want to draw. Let's see if I can get rid of the Shaman. Alright, get rid of the Shaman because he buffs the enemy attack. Get rid of the shield. And I've got a maximum of 18, so there's no point using a healing potion, it would just waste it. But I kind of like this game. It's got some good things in it, and it does stuff quite well in a lot of ways. I prefer it to Slay the Spy. Treasure. So here's a treasure card. This is one of the few that actually has a use, but the idea is you burn the treasure card to draw 2 cards instead. So I'll take that just to show. Even though I have I've earned all the gold I need, I don't use gold to unlock cards for the different characters, like that hammer thing. That was 500 gold to unlock. I do prefer this to Slay the Spire, but I was talking about this on the Discord just yesterday, that there aren't many good cards in this. Like, you have the strategy that works for you, but there aren't many good cards that are sort of worth really adding to the deck. The only reason I'm taking these healing potions is because health, you start off with very little. It's hard to get more maximum health, and this class doesn't get a lot of healing. Regeneration means that they, regenerate. I'll go with the torch. Better off I kill that one. And then kill another. So regenerate, they get all their health back at the end of their turn. Right. Well, it's not worth losing 3 HP. I'm probably going to be able to kill it next turn anyway. So the trade-off in this, sort of the core core gameplay for the trade-off is if you add treasure, it makes your deck weaker, but it means you walk away with more at the end. And I like that. I do really like that. I've seen complaints about it, but I'm very fond of that mechanic. Occasionally, you get like the choice here when there are the 2 doors, so you can see the choice coming up. But there's nothing you can really do to prepare. I always go for the harder one. I don't think it's a particularly nuanced game. When you know enough about the characters you're playing, that's sort of all you need. You don't need to learn deep strategies, you don't have perks or relics or anything like that to worry about. You just have to worry about sort of the here and now, more or less, and the way up about treasure. Then, at the end of each level, you come to a boss, and these bosses are incredibly unfair. So in this case, he will spawn 2 random enemies every single turn, as well as attacking itself. As in, it will itself attack. So heal a bit. Let's draw... That was waste, but whatever. So the problem with the cauldron is you need to attack it, but at the same time you can't really ignore these things. I think because they're low attack, I am going to focus on the cauldron, but if it spawns like a wolf or something with critical strike, that's dangerous. Because then it could just... yeah, these are all easy ones. Occasionally get like experience things, which increase the bar. Oh, there is a number there. I didn't actually know it showed a number. I guess I've never looked. But cleave is one of the best things for this guy, but only if you've got 10 rage. Like yesterday I did a run through of this where I had like 4 cleaves, because you can like add a copy, and virtually nothing else in my deck. There was just like cleave and healing stuff, and it was so powerful. Apart from the end boss, I just couldn't touch him, because you need to do like mass damage. So I'm going to use my accumulated heals and focus on attacking the cauldron. So the reason I'm leaving these guys is because they only deal 1 attack each, and there are going to be guys I can't keep up with the number that they're going to be spawning. But see, these do 2 each, so they're actually a threat. And I'm going to use the torch here, because the torch is one of the few reduced attack things that does work on bosses as well. So now, I'm going to be just taking 3 damage a turn, and 7 is the maximum number of monsters that can spawn, so problem solved. And I'll heal again, because you can't... There's no like passive heal effect. So as you can see, they're not spawning more, because hey, they've got them all. And he's defeated, so now I just mop up. Anything here? Every 5 levels you get a heroic or a legendary drop. None of these are particularly good, because Armed and Dangerous is good if you're going for like a large weapon, a large deck weapon build, but that doesn't suit the Berserker. Loot bags just add random crap. Guess I would go Brainstorm's not great. I mean, you don't have to go with any, but... Kill him off. A little bit of passive healing. See if we can... Nope, can't kill him. Yes. Alright. And then the thing is, this game is highly exploitable. It's not balanced in a lot of ways. The bosses can be really unfair, but at the same time, you can get some really unfair things that you can do. Let's add a punch. So there are, like, one of the things you can get at level 5 is like it's called Adventure, and the point of it is that it gives you 3 random effects that you choose between each time you play it, and you can continually play it. Oh, Sword of Vengeance, that's not bad for me. And one of the things you can get from that is like loot, and you can also get a thing which allows you to escape with all of your loot. So if you get to that point where you're fighting an enemy who can't hurt you, or that you out-heal, then you can just get infinite loot if you just have enough patience. Then after each boss you get to pick one of these things. So I suppose this is the only form of like passive perk. You can get a heroic skill like the ones I got at level 5. You can get a legendary item like one of the ones I started with. You can get rid of cards from your deck. This is pretty much the only way to do it, although there is a card that you can get which allows you to exile on the move. You can fully heal. This is one of the only ways you can heal. Max health, again, one of the only ways you can. And you can just get rid of all of your stuff, all of your treasure. And what this allows you to do is continue the run, but as you get higher up in the tower, like as you go through the levels, you get a treasure modifier. So level 1 is just like 1 times, but up to level like 5, it's like, I don't know, 3 times or something like that. So you can get a lot of gold if you hold onto it and leave it in your deck, and that's the risk reward that I like. Anyway, you should always go for a tarot card. I don't remember what Hermit does. Oh, it says right there. Do I currently have any duplicates? I've got 2 punches and 2 lucky coins. Ah, that's a problem. That severely limits the amount of treasure you can get. Because, like, diamond is the best thing you can get, and it's worth 25 treasure, whereas this is just worth 5. But if you can only have 1 diamond, that is crippling. Well, Chariot would be good if it was activated more than once per turn. Per room. I'm going to re-roll those. I think I'm going to go for the Fool, because this isn't a particularly good run, and the Fool is probably my best chance. So, I have a predominantly skill-based damage system, although I do have some weapons. So strength isn't particularly good for me. What I want is the Wheel of Fortune. There it is. Increase critical strike by 10%. And if it deals random damage, it always deals the max. And then the other one is... I don't remember what it's called, but I'll know when I see it. The Star. Critical strike by further 5%, which will increase it to a total of 40%. And then whenever you perform a critical hit, draw a card. So what this means is I will now focus on getting critical strike things like the Dagger and the Skull Crusher. This isn't going to be a particularly good run. I didn't start off well, and this is a game where if you don't get good stuff in the sort of the beginning, I got screwed by Brainstorm. That's just not a very good one. Then you're not going to succeed. But I might get far enough. See, there's the modifier. So you can escape at the end of each level and keep your loot, or you can just keep fighting up. So the Sword of Vengeance increases damage based on the number of health I've lost, which is not a bad one for the Berserker. Unplayable Tent Treasure. So the idea of things like the diamonds and the coins, they just take slots in your hand, basically. Like the lucky coin here. It's useful. This is useful in a pinch, but it's not very valuable. I don't need a heal, no. Here we're starting to get some harder effects like Entomb, which is when the enemy dies, and the only way to stop Entomb, and some Entomb effects are really bad, is you have to use Silence, which not all classes get. Like I said, it's not very balanced, this game. Curse cards are like another thing that take up space in your inventory, and I should use that one and that one, oh well. Oh, damn it. Anyway. Oh, damn, it's Cleave. Sorry, I thought that was the Rampage one, the one that does like 5 damage. Whoops, I completely messed this one up. I wasn't paying attention at all. I tend to play this one a bit fast and loose. Yeah, I got it. Charge, not Rampage. So I got those two confused. The art style is really pretty, and it's part of why I'm a bit disappointed with the devs, because in the successor, it's not a sequel game, but they have done another game which is, let's be honest, virtually identical. But I'm going to have to do that, because otherwise it's going to hit me for 3. Dagger. I'll also use that just to get it out of my hand. They've done a sequel game called Dreamgate, and it doesn't use this art style. It's virtually identical apart from that. It does seem that they've added some stuff. I haven't played it for quite a while. Let's get rid of you. And you. And you again. Leaving just the Guardian. So if you're interested, I can try Dreamgate again. Like I said, it's been a while. I got it. It's still in early access. Oh, I need the heals. But here you can see it's taken 2 slots in my my drawer. So, like, I did a run yesterday where I had almost entirely treasures. Heavy axe leans towards a high, like a large deck build. Bow leans towards a small deck build. I'll just grab the torch and have done. I don't have enough rage to make that worth doing. Ooh. Ooh. Killer Instinct might actually be a good call for this build. Mystery rooms are usually more enemies, but sometimes they're blacksmiths, which are the only real use for 5 treasure cards, and they allow you to upgrade things. Sorry, I clicked on that without looking at it. Like in Slay the Spire, when you can upgrade stuff, you can give it dagger +1, so it does 1 extra damage, and you can continually upgrade things, I think, 3 times. So I'll just upgrade both of those. But I will hold on to that because it is worth a bit more. 10 and 25 are worth holding on to. I will get rid of Cleave. There is an option in this game there's an option for reinforcements, which allow enemies to call more enemies, but you don't get experience for those, so it's just a punishment for taking a while to fight, which is, I don't like it, so I turned it off. And I currently have a mod on, an official mod made by the devs, which allows you to turn off fast enemies, which are enemies that attack before you get your turn. Most roguelike deck builders do something like that, but in this case they're very annoying because you have so little health. And because that's turned off and it's an official mod, they replace the effect with other effects. So instead, he would normally be fast, but instead I discard at the beginning of my turn. But what I will do is... oh no, I'll just use that to kill him off. Heal. Damn. Yeah, it's not worth doing that. That will come in more useful later on. Let's get rid of Brainstorm. And just punch him. Ah, 2 gold coins. Very nice. You know how I said there's almost always a fight? Well, he's the only other thing that can appear in here, which is Merchant. And you give him treasure, and he gives you crap items that you don't need. So, never do it. Get rid of Brainstorm again. Oh, goody, 2 assassins. Shadow Thieves are one of my least favourite enemies. If you have 3 or more treasure cards, his attack is doubled, and every time he hits you, you lose a treasure card. It's just very unpleasant to fight, so I'm going to kill him first. Nice. Draw a card, discard a card. Let's get rid of that one. So that increases to 50%. So is that 50% base plus the 15%? So, oh, even so. Wow, that was just poor then. Ooh, Dagger Bandolier had 3 daggers. Yeah, that's good. Although, arguably it's not. Oh, damn, that was a good room. Sorry. That room had paintings of all the bosses on the walls. That was... it's a nice room. Anyway, the Direwolf is really dangerous because he can occasionally do 4 damage. So I will take him out first. This one, 7 damage on you. Nice, killed the wolf. I do kind of like this game. It's just... I don't know. I think it's not as good as some. It's a lot more shallow than Night of the Full Moon or Slay the Spire. I've seen someone say, like, oh, this is so much more depth than Slay the Spire ever had. Well, no, you're wrong. There's treasure. And there are builds you can do around Cursed Swords, because one of the tarot cards, which you normally get at the end of each level, is like, you no longer take curse cards. So you can like load your deck with stuff that normally gives you curse cards, and they're just really powerful without it. Let's get 3 daggers. Come on, yeah, good. Kill 2 of them off. So overall, this is a bit of a shallow roguelike deck builder, but the art is very pretty. Like, it's all custom drawn. It's all got that sort of Darkest Dungeon aesthetic. I really like it. And it's a shame they didn't keep that art style for the sequel. Oh, the Hag. She's the worst enemy in the game. One of them. There are quite a few bad ones. She gets ethereal, which means weapons. There, ethereal. Weapon cards only ever do 1 damage. So if you have a weapon build, you are screwed. So even this does nothing at this point, because weapon cards, these are both weapons, so even on a critical, they do 1 damage, and she does 4 damage per hit. So I've lost, just because I don't stand a chance here. Oh, 14. Oh no, of course, because it's a weapon, it does 1. So, yeah. This game has bullshit annoying bosses. But that was Fate Hunters. I didn't get very far with that. I knew early on that it wasn't a good run, but normally it's not worth ever taking the Fool tarot card, because you want to get all 5 tarot cards. They are such good buffs. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more Fate Hunters. There are all the other classes. There are also 3 mod added classes, which I've had to... You got to do a little finagling to actually get the mods to show up. At least I did, because it was a bug that the devs are never going to fix because they've moved on. But anyway, let me know if you want to see more Fate Hunters, or if there is another roguelike deck builder or something. I do enjoy this genre. And subscribe for more board games, card games like this, miniatures, and D&D. And I will catch you later.